Greetings! In a previous episode, I went over how to use Google Forms to solicit feedback for students in class. I made an example bell ringer form that you could send out and had mentioned that you could also use it for an exit slip or for in-class quizzes. Well, in this segment, I'm going to walk you through how to use the form that you created previously, but make it grade itself using a great tool called Flubaroo. So to get into this, I'm going to log back into my Google Docs, and I'm going to access the form that I previously made. And so here you can see this is the bell ringer period 5 and the bell ringer 5 responses file that we discussed. Now, when I click on the bell ringer period 5, I can see that this was the form that I made. I asked for the student's name, which is important. I asked a couple questions here, and then I talked about how you could click this View Live Forms button and get a link that you could send to your students. Well, in order to create a quiz that grades itself, one of the things that we're going to need to do is to create an answer key. Now, the way that Flubaroo works is I'm going to go to my live form and I'm going to fill this out as a teacher, and this is going to become the key that I'm going to use in order to grade my students' responses. So where it says, what is your name? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to type in teacher key so that I know when I look at it that this is going to be the teacher key. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the quiz and make sure I have the correct answers down. And then I'm going to click submit. That's it. That's all you have to do here. So now when I look at my form, I can go ahead and I can close that out and I can open up then the responses file. When I open up the responses file, you can see here that I have some students here that have taken the quiz. I can see their responses, and then I can see also here that I added a teacher key that I filled out. Now, before I showed you how you could go to form and show the summary of responses, and this is a great view. I can look at it. I can quickly see is the class as a whole getting it or not getting it. But what I can't see is how these individual students do, so I have a hard time giving them individualized feedback. Well, to fix that, there's a script called Flubaroo that will go through and grade this quiz for me. To get that set up, I'm going to go to Insert, I'm going to come down to Script, and then I'm just going to search for Flubaroo. So once this loads up here, there'll be a search button, and I can type in Flubaroo and hit search. And then notice down here it says Flubaroo. I'm going to click install. And it's going to pop up here in a second asking for permissions. So there it goes. Authorization is required. I'm going to click continue. It's going to ask for some permissions and it's okay to click accept. And then so now it's going to install the Flubaroo script on this form. And so now it's installed. I'm going to click close, and notice that up here in the menu bar there's one extra option now. It says Flubaroo. When I click Flubaroo, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click grade assignment, and it's going to pop up with a little dialog box that's going to walk me through the grading process. So the first thing that it's going to ask me here is, okay, what do the different columns mean? And so what is your name identifies the student, and then I have my two questions here. This is where you can go and choose how many points you want that question to be worth. Do you want it to be worth 1 point all the way through 5 points? Or do you want to skip grading on that question? In this case, I'm going to have each one of my two questions be worth 1 point. I'm going to click continue. And then it says, okay, now where is the key? So I'm going to scroll down here and pick teacher key. And then I'm going to click continue. And so now at this point, Flubaroo is going through and it's actually grading my assignment. If you noticed, it popped up with a new tab on the bottom here. I'm going to click View Grades. And on that new tab, all my originals are still here. But when I click this Grades tab, I can see some descriptive statistics on the top. So out of 2 points, the average was 1.4. There were 5 submissions. And then if I look down here, I can see by name here the total points that they got, what that is in a percentage, how many times they took the quiz. And then if I look over here, I can see a 1 indicates they mean they got it correct, and a 0 indicates that they got that question incorrect. And then I can look down here and see the number of students that had that question correct. So in this case, I had 3 out of the 5 students get that correct, and over here I had all but 1 student get this question correct. And so Flubaroo just gives me a really quick and easy way to grade quizzes that I've distributed over Google Forms. If you have more questions, make sure to check out our Area 66 webpage. And on that webpage, if you scroll down, I have a direction sheet for using Flubaroo for self-grading quizzes. And so once again, that's Google Forms and self-grading quizzes using Flubaroo. Thank you.